was the final seconds of the Miracle on Ice, and arguably the greatest call in the history of sports. It came at the height of the Cold War at an Olympics that the Soviets nearly boycotted against a team the U.S. hadn't beaten since 1960.
Pretty amazing. Today is the 41st anniversary of that game right there. We welcome in the man that scored the game-winning goal to seal the 4-3 win, the captain, Mike Eruzione. Welcome in to Wake Up America, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I did just wake up.
Good. You woke up. Now you can wake up with us. We're happy to have you. You know, if you can jog your brain as you're just waking up, maybe grab your cup of coffee. The recollections of the events leading up to that game. I know in your book you wrote about how you threw a couple beers back with your mom and dad in a Winnebago before you went and played the next morning. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, you try not to do anything different because it's a big game. You know, you kind of stay within the moment. And, you know, it was nothing crazy for me to go out where my parents were staying in a Winnebago and the night before the game and have a few beers and a hot dog and a cheeseburger and just kind of kick back and spend some time with my family and go back to the Olympic Village and get up and get ready to play a game.
All right, I just want to set the stage here. So the Soviets won gold in 64, 68, 72, 76, 84, 88, 92, except for 1980. You guys, all college kids, largely from the Northeast and Minnesota, Wisconsin, that part of the country. You guys were up by 4-3. You scored the game-winning goal with just about 10 minutes left. Now, that must have been the longest 10 minutes you'll ever experience. Take us back. What was that like? Because we've all seen the movie by now, but you must have just been watching the clock the whole time.
Well, it's funny because I scored with 10 minutes left to go, and I came off the ice. The next line went on, and then the next time I went on the ice, it like the clock said 9:59, like it didn't even move. It was a long 10 minutes, but it's funny. I've only seen the game 3 times, and the last time I saw it was, I think, about a year ago. And I was doing something like this, and they were showing the game. And I didn't realize in the last 10 minutes, the Soviets only had like 5 shots on goal. We played really well in the last 10 minutes. But if you watch the movie Miracle, it's like we weren't even on the ice. It was like just the Soviets were shooting at Jimmy. So it was kind of a reality check, and realizing how well we played after, I had scored. So, we talk about the Soviet game all the time, and it obviously was an incredible victory. But if we don't beat Finland, we might not win a medal. So we wouldn't be having this conversation today if we don't beat Finland. You know, so I think that's one of the things I get. Maybe he's not frustrated, but I think my teammates and people don't realize how important that Finland game was. Like I said, people come up to me years later and say, boy, it was a great win against the Soviets, but if only you could have beat Finland to win the gold medal. So I think I take more pride sometimes with the Finnish game than I do the Soviet game.
It's interesting. Of course, this one remembered the movie, everything everyone always talks about. But you talked about that reality check. Just for a second, I want to touch on that. You know, I heard you say once in an interview, you didn't realize while you were on the ice what an impact this game was having, how the world was watching this game until you and your teammates got off the ice and realized it was so much more than hockey. And for you, at the time, you said it was an athletic achievement. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it was. It was a hockey game for us. So, and we had no clue the world was watching, in particular, the United States. We were just playing a game. And, it was something that I think my teammates and I realized years later that it was special to a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. For some people, it was a hockey game. But for many people in this country, it was a statement about this what makes this country so great. This is why the United States is who we are. When we can see a group of athletes come together and do something that touched the lives of so many people. It's not like a Super Bowl where, Kansas City's not happy, but, people in Tampa are. It's the Olympic Games. It's the United States. You have a jersey on that says USA across the front, and we represent our country, and you take great pride in being able to do that. And we never realized that this moment became what it became, but yet when we think about it and look back on it, boy, that's a special feeling when you can touch the lives of so many people and bring so many people together. Maybe we need a U.S. hockey team right now, or a miracle moment. We need something to bring everybody together.
We do. We really do.
We were able to do that.
Mike, you brought it up, so I have a question, but I want to ask: Did that moment where Herb goes around and says, what about you, Frakoto? Where are you from? Did you really say, Mike Eruzione, Winthrop, Mass? Who do you play for, USA?
Well, do you want me to say I said it?
Yeah, I just for my own, just so I sleep soundly
Absolutely.
tonight.
Absolutely, I said that.
Good.
Did you guys really have to do those drills? What do they call them now? Herbies that people get petrified of over and over?
We did Herbies. We did them for about an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes after the game. It's funny. I help out with my high school hockey team, and it was years ago. After practice, I had the kids doing the Herbies, and after the first one, some little wise-ass kid said, Mike Eruzione, United States of America, whatever. And I said, all right, get off the ice. You guys are done.
How many drinks would you say people have tried to buy you over the last 41 years?
A lot last night, I think.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
A lot last night. No, you know what? It's been something that's been special. I think, like I said earlier, my teammates and I, we take so much pride in what we did and what we accomplished. And, it's hard to believe will be 41 years ago. Tomorrow we beat Finland. And again, it's just something that you just cherish and embrace and realize how fortunate and blessed we were, and we still are.
All right, so take us back to Finland. You guys are down again going into the third period. Herb comes into the locker room. He said one thing that I don't think we can say on network television right now, but give us the Disney version of it.
You know what? I've said this before. Jack O'Callahan must have said it 100 times in the locker room. There's no way a bunch of Finns are keeping us from a gold medal. And Herb came in, and I remember it this way. It was the third period, going into the third. We were losing, and we were losing a lot during the Olympics. And he said, if you lose this game, you'll take it to your bleeping grave. Then he stopped, pointed his finger back at us, and he said, your bleeping grave. And he walked out. And you know what? He was so right. To come so far, to work so hard, to accomplish so much, to let it slip away would have stayed with us forever. Like I said, we wouldn't be having this conversation if we don't beat Finland. So we went out and played, I think, in my opinion, the best 20 minutes of hockey we played all year. And we dominated the third period. We scored 3 goals. We win 4-2, and we win the whole thing.
And like you said, that's the game you remember. We weren't there. We remember the Soviet game. You remember the Finland game. You couldn't have looked more proud to receive the gold, singing the national anthem during the medal ceremony and bringing the team up there. Tell us about that moment.
That's a special feeling. Everybody in the building singing the Star Spangled Banner. Mm-hmm. When that flag, you see a flag being risen just a little higher than everybody else's.
Yeah.
And again, it's just that proud moment representing your country, being able to be a part of something so incredible. And yet at the time, not knowing anybody was watching other than all those people in the building. But years later, I've had people come up to me, and everybody's got a story to tell. And it starts out, depending on how old they are. I remember where I was when the World Trade Center, 9/11, D-Day, depending on their age. Every moment's a tragic event in this country. When Kennedy was assassinated, when the Challenger blew up. And then they'll say, I remember where I was when we won. And I always look at them and say, I didn't know you were on the team. But people felt that. And as you can see, it's just a proud feeling. And to have and share it with my teammates after, get all of us up on the podium. I don't know if we'd all fit now, but I think then we probably.
You guys would. You got to play a little more golf, Rizzo.
We're a little younger, but it was a special moment, and a proud moment.
Tell me about that. We only have a moment left, but you're on the podium there. By the way, this game started the USA chant that we see now at political rallies and sports games.
Everywhere.
This is the first time it happened. But you called your teammates up onto the podium. I don't know how you guys all fit up there. How did you guys even fit up there?
If you see our arms, are pretty much embraced around each other. So I think we kept ourselves up there in place.
Holding each other up. We're looking at that now.
One person shouldn't be on the podium. It should be everybody. And if you notice after this moment here, all the other Olympic Games, there's a long platform for hockey. Every player stands on the podium at the same time, which is the way it should be. It shouldn't be one person.
And I know the late Herb Brooks is smiling today up in heaven.
Yes.
He was the only person that could have coached that team back in 1980. He was the right man for that moment, for sure.
It was the right coach, right time, right team, right players. Everything, the perfect storm. Everything came to fruition. What we worked for and sacrificed, we deserved what we got. And even 41 years later, we take great pride in knowing that we were part of something that was special to us, but more so special to so many people in this country.
So many people. Mike Eruzione, thank you so much. It was great having you on the show.
Gives me chills,
Thank you all.
Mike. Thank you.
Everyone stay safe. We'll get through this.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Mike Eruzione right there, captain of the 1980 U.S. men's hockey team. He found the back of the net in the key moment, won that game 4-3 the final. U.S. over the Russians. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.